So at that price, I basically had to pick it up. I mean, come on, right? Like these retail for $700, and I got them basically brand new for like half that price. So I couldn't turn down that offer. And I never said I didn't like the Focal Bathys. What I said before in my previous video was that Focal headphones to me always sounded maybe a little bit too flat, too analytical, clinical sounding, not very fun. That's really all the Focal headphones, including the clears, kind of sound like that to me. However, that's not to say that they aren't good sounding, right? Focal headphones have always been very detailed sounding. So yeah, I've always been interested in also the Bathys as well. And you know, why not, right? Because when it comes to wireless headphones, yeah, the Focal sound signature, even though I'm not a huge fan of it, I think when it comes to wireless headphones, we don't have too much choice when it comes to really good sounding wireless headphones. So the Focal Bathys being a very top tier wireless headphone, yeah, sure, you know, I'll definitely pick it up and try it out. So here it is. So these are the Focal Bathys. This is the Dune color, which they make it in many different colors. I have actually never seen the Dune color before. This is not as common, I guess. So this is pretty interesting. The guy actually had like a few Bathys, and he asked me which color I wanted. So this one seems to be a rare color, so I kind of just picked it up. Has Google Assistant, Alexa built in, Siri, I'm guessing as well. If you look at the side here, yeah, active noise cancellation. I'm going to test to see how good that is. aptX adaptive, USB audio. It lasts for 30 hours. It's pretty good. Handcrafted in France. So yeah, this Focal is a French company. For those of you guys who don't know, they have a background in making loudspeakers. But I'd say starting from about 10 years ago, they really started focusing on headphones a lot too. So they are still like a very renowned loudspeaker manufacturer, but now they are a top tier headphone manufacturer as well. And I think they really became popular when they released the Clears and the Utopias. I think those are the headphones that really made Focal really well known in the headphone market. So yeah, now they have a whole bunch of models. I've tried many of their models before, actually. I've tried the Allirs, I think was the first one I tried out. And then the Elexes, and then the Allegias, and the Clears. So now the Bathys. So I've tried a couple of different Focal models. All of them have been very good, just kind of like the signature, I wasn't too into them. But, you know, who knows, the Bathys might change my mind. And let's see, nothing too much on this side. And of course, Bluetooth, because wireless, Qualcomm aptX adaptive. And no LDAC, I don't think. Unfortunately, with these Western companies, they either choose LDAC or Qualcomm, but not both. In fact, I actually think that Western companies usually don't go with LDAC at all. Like when I see like Sennheiser, for example, or Focal, yeah, most of these Western companies, they usually stick with Qualcomm. It's the Japanese companies that sometimes go with LDAC, and the Chinese companies just go with both, which is interesting. All right, so here's what it looks like. Yeah, we get this nice carrying case. And then, yeah, like this is pretty much brand new. So we've got some Focal, user manual, quick start guide. So let's take a look at this. You have just purchased a Focal product. Okay. Greetings from France, I'm guessing. Okay. Focal innovation. Yeah, Focal is very well known in both the headphone industry and loudspeaker industry. They are one of the few companies that are equally good in both industries, I would say. The other headphone I'm going to compare it to in this video is the Bathys Wilkins PX8. Another company that's probably equally as good in loudspeaker and headphone industries. Focal is definitely more respected in the audiophile headphone industry, for sure, compared to Bathys and Wilkins. But, you know, both of them make top-notch wireless headphones, so as well as speakers. Founded in 1979, and I believe they build all their headphones still there to this day. The Utopia is their top-of-the-line headphone. I have listened to the Utopia, actually, and I've given my impressions in another video. Pretty good headphone. Yep. And then you have this, the quick start guide. Okay. So this being wireless headphones, it does need to have instruction manual, right? Because it might not be obvious how it works. It's not like a simple wired headphone, just plug it in and play. So here we have a switch here to turn it on and off. Bluetooth pairing button, volume buttons, play, pause, and next track, previous track. active noise canceling, and what's this, airplane mode or something, like a silent and soft. So I guess the other one's some kind of ambient mode. This one's ANC plus no music. So it's just ANC, I guess, but it doesn't play music. Interesting. And then there's an assistant button for Alexa and Google. Yep. You can turn the DAC on. Oh, you can connect it to your phone. Oh yeah, so this is using wired mode. So there is a wired mode where you just use it as a USB-C DAC. Yep, and okay, so this is like, oh, interesting. So there's a mode where you can use the USB-C DAC and just use a USB connector, and then there's a one where you don't use the USB DAC and you just use a straight up analog connection, the 3.5mm. That's interesting to have both. That's cool. With Bathys and Wilkins, they only have the DAC option. They don't have a 3.5mm option. And then off is for just charging. Okay. Interesting. What's this DAC on? DAC. Oh, I also wonder why this on mode is in. Okay, you turn the DAC on and then you put in the analog connection. It works like that. Okay, let's just take a look at the headphones. Okay, this carrying case is pretty typical of Focal carrying cases. They always look like some sort of like handbag shape. So look like this. Yeah, so it's pretty nice though. And then you open it up, and these are the Focal Bathys in Dune color. So you actually do have a little pouch up here where you can just put some accessories. But yeah, this is what they look like. It comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable right here, all in the same matching colors. And you also get a 3.5 to 3.5 for the analog connection. So you have a choice of a digital connection or an analog connection. So I think that's why they have a DAC mode on and off here. And then these are the headphones themselves. So yeah, the Focal Bathys, very typical Focal design. All of Focal's headphones, they have a very distinctive design. They all have this kind of shape, and they always have some kind of pattern on the ear cups. So all the Focal headphones have this very distinctive design. So it's no surprise that Focal sticks with this design for the Bathys. Very distinctive. They always have their logo right here. Well, this one says aluminum, magnesium. It doesn't actually say Fabrique en France, which I'm kind of expecting if it's actually made in France. So I wonder if these are actually not made in France then. Yeah, because if you look at a lot of Focal headphones, yeah, at least most of the high-end ones that like higher than $500 or whatever, they should be made in France. So they would say something like Fabrique en France here, but here I don't see it. So I don't know if this is actually made in France. Probably not then. Otherwise they would probably put it there. But yeah, very distinctive design, typical Focal design here. Nice materials here on the ear cups. So, and you have nice, this is not real leather, but lambskin maybe leather. Yeah, probably lambskin, I'm guessing. And then some kind of vinyl-like material on top of the headband, pretty nice, adjustable like this. And you can tell the left and right, it's right there on the inside of the headband. Nice and easy there. Look at the controls. So on this side, the left ear cup, you have volume up and down, and you have a, this looks like a kind of Bluetooth button right here in the middle. This is to turn, oh, okay, actually, I get what this is now. So this is just have it in DAC mode, I guess, but the Bluetooth is not on, and then you just, I think this is wired mode. Maybe, yeah, the DAC mode I think is wired mode, but as soon as you turn it on, you see these cups light up, which is really cool. So there's some LEDs or something going on here. It's actually lighting up. So yeah, I think this is just connecting with wired connection here then. Yeah, in this mode, and then you turn it on, and then it's actually in Bluetooth mode. So this is Bluetooth mode, and I think this is just a wired mode, and this is just turning it off. And then this is, I think, is the assistant button. And then this is the connection. You have two wired connections here. You have a USB-C digital connection and an analog 3.5mm. It's nice to have both. And then on this side, there is just a Bluetooth pairing button. So yeah, overall pretty nice. Nice to see those ear cups light up. That's something unique I don't see in other wireless headphones. That's something cool. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm going to compare this against the Bathys and Wilkins PX8, which is another high-end headphone. And this should be interesting, right? They're both pretty high-end wireless headphones here. And I'm just going to compare like the sound quality, noise cancellation, and everything, and let you guys know what I think. The Bathys and Wilkins PX8 is actually about the same price, especially since this is the McLaren edition. So they're both around $700 US. If not for the McLaren edition, I think you can actually find this one a little bit cheaper, maybe about $600 US. But anyways, these are both pretty high-end wireless headphones. So yeah, stay tuned for the comparison. Alright guys, so now I'm going to give you guys my impressions of the Bathys and Wilkins PX8 versus the Focal Bathys. So I'm going to try the PX8s first because I've owned this for longer. Just to give you guys again my impressions of this headphone. So first of all, I have to say I love the design of the Bathys and Wilkins. This is the McLaren edition, which I think is the best colorway of the PX8. Yeah, it's very, very comfortable, and the design looks very premium, right? With this like little brushed stainless steel looking type of ear cups right here. Very, very premium looking with the nice materials and everything. So I really do like the design of the Bathys and Wilkins PX8. Again, similar design with the PX7 S2s, it's just this one uses better materials. So I'm going to turn it on, it's just a switch here. Okay. I'm going to use my DAP here. Connect the Bluetooth, and I have to tell you guys that the active noise cancellation in the Bathys PX8 is great. It's fantastic, and that's one of the reasons I went with Bathys in the first place. I did a whole shootout with wireless headphones comparing all the features. Bathys and Wilkins to me is right below Sony and Bose when it comes to noise cancellation technology. They're pretty high up there, pretty close, which means, you know, I think the noise cancellation is really good because Sony and Bose are obviously like the leaders in noise cancellation, and Apple, I guess, as well. You can put the AirPods Max up there as well. But then Bathys and Wilkins come right after them, very close. The noise cancellation is just superb. That's why I ended up going with the PX7 S2s and used those for a while. And now the PX8s are basically just an upgrade from the PX7 S2s. All right, so the PX8s, like I said in my previous review, these are very refined sounding headphones, and by refined I mean the sound is it's how do I explain this? It's like it's very balanced. It's like it doesn't try to really push up a lot of bass or a lot of treble. It's not like a V-shaped headphone at all. It's just trying to be very, very polite when I'm playing a lot of these songs. So yeah, I just get like a very nice polite sound out of it. Yeah, it's just like it's trying to like gently roll off, I guess, some of the frequencies so it sounds politer, if that makes sense. So yeah, in general, it's a pretty nice pair of wireless headphones. I mean, like the amount of detail that you get out of these is better than all the other wireless headphones I've experienced so far. And yeah, it's very, very balanced type of sound signature. It's not trying to be V-shaped or dynamic or anything like that. So yeah, just in general, just good for most types of music. Soundstage is pretty good for a wireless headphone. The only thing I would have issue with is that because it's so balanced and polite sounding, I feel like it's, yeah, for those of people who are looking for like a lot of punch, a lot of dynamics, like if you're looking for V-shaped signature, right, with more punch in the bass, you're looking for more clarity in the treble, this doesn't have that. It's not trying to push up any of those frequencies. It's just a reasonably more flatter type of sound. So yeah, I would say because it's not so dynamic, it's not a very exciting headphone, actually. Like, this is the type of headphone you just want to relax to. It's not the type of headphone you want to bop your head to. It's not like that. So it's not very dynamic. Just, yeah, very polite sounding. It's more relaxing type of headphone because it's trying to be very refined. So, yeah, that's the thing about the PX8s. Now we're going to try the Focal Bathys. So push these on. There we go. So this is what it looks like on my head. These are bigger headphones than the PX8s overall. You can see that yeah, the ear cups and everything a little bit bigger. So it's got a bigger size than the PX8s do. Yeah, I'd say overall, it's still quite comfortable though. It's definitely a comfortable set of headphones. The ANC is actually better than I expected. Now, it's not exactly up to the Bathys and Wilkins level, but it's better than I expected because Focal, they're traditionally a loudspeaker maker and a wired headphone maker. So I never expected them to be good at active noise cancellation because that's not really their area. That's not their expertise, but this is actually pretty impressive. Yeah, so noise cancellation overall is still below Bathys and Wilkins. I think Bathys and Wilkins noise cancellation technology is still superior, but it's still pretty good. It's decent. It'll still get you like, yeah, maybe 60% of noise cancel, I think. Whereas Bathys and Wilkins is more like 80%. It's more like 60%. Still pretty decent. I mean, it's better than what I expected from Focal. I never expected Focal. It's actually better than the Momentum Force. So compared to the Sennheiser Momentum Force, I think these actually cancel maybe more noise than that. Maybe a little bit more noise. So anyways, it's impressive. So yeah, let's check out some songs here. Okay, these are really nice, pretty nice. Yes, the Focal Bathys. These are kind of like, they almost remind me of the Bathys and Wilkins PX7 S2s in that these ones are definitely more dynamic sounding compared to the PX8s. So you will get more bass and more highs out of these. So it's a little bit more V-shaped compared to the PX8s. Not quite as refined or as polite sounding as the PX8s. It's definitely got more of a push in the bass and the treble, so the music sounds more lively, more dynamic, more exciting. So that's pretty good. The noise cancellation is surprisingly good, I would say, for Focals. So yeah, below the Bathys and Wilkins PX8 still for noise cancellation, but still impressive enough. Definitely, if you're going to use this on a train or a plane or whatever, it still cancels out most noise. Yeah, I mean, soundstage, the thing about Focals is they've never been good on soundstage, even in their wired audiophile models. I remember like even their top of the line Utopias, I tried those and those didn't have that big of a soundstage either. So I just think with Focals, soundstage has never really been their priority. That's not to say that these don't have soundstage, they do, but I think the PX8s do have more soundstage compared to the Bathys. And of course the Bathys have a lot of detail because it's Focals, and Focal headphones are known for having a lot of detail, especially in the mid-range. For this one though, yeah, probably the mids and the highs are pretty nice. The bass is definitely, I think could use a little bit more detail. It sounds a little bit too thumpy, but yeah, it's still fine. Not too bad. Anyways, definitely both of these are two of the best sounding wireless headphones out there. It really depends on what you want, I would say, at this time. So at this price point, depends what you want. The sound signature is very different. The PX8 is more balanced sounding and it's very polite and refined. The Bathys is more of like a soft V and it's got more dynamics, a lot more bass and more treble. Not to say the mids are too recessed, but it's okay, but definitely more exciting and dynamic sounding than the PX8s. Noise cancellation wise, PX8s win, but the Focal still have decent amount of noise cancellation. Design wise, I actually still prefer the PX8s because I mean, just for me, right? Like the holes and stuff in the Focals is a very, that's their design decision for their headphones. I personally don't like the holes that much. You know, but that's just what they chose. I prefer this one. The PX8's design, I mean, just looks a lot more classy to me. So that's a personal preference thing, but I just prefer design. I do like the light up logos on the Bathys, so that's a really nice touch. Comfort-wise, both pretty comfortable. So I think I say that's pretty much a wash. They're both really comfortable headphones. And yeah, the detail, both pretty detailed. I can't, maybe the Focals by a bit more. I think might be a bit more detailed. Soundstage wise, PX8s have a little bit more soundstage. But yeah, I think really it's your preference on the sound signature. Do you like the PX7 S2s? If you like the Bathys and Wilkins PX7 S2s, then the Focal Bathys is actually closer to that than the PX8s. The PX8s are actually really different from the PX7 S2s in terms of sound sig. So these are, PX7 S2s is a more soft V shape, and that's exactly what the Bathys are. So yeah, whereas this is just more balanced. So it really depends on what sound signature you're after. I would say it really depends on the genre too, the genre of music that you're listening to. If you're listening to like, something like jazz or classical music or something like that, I would say the PX8 is probably better for that. But then if you're listening to electronic music, something like that, you would benefit, or pop, right? We would benefit from a lot of dynamics because of the beats and stuff. Then, yeah, the Vocal Bathys better for the more modern type of music. So I mean, I'm broadly generalizing here. The PX8 is probably better for older type of music, and the Bathys better for modern type of music. But yeah, you guys get my point. They're different. I cannot say which one's actually better. They're just different. The Focals are a bit more expensive though, usually. So although for this McLaren edition, I think they're actually around the same price. But the normal, the other color, yeah, it's the other colors are actually cheaper. So yeah, take that into consideration as well. But I really think that is just more of a preference thing. Yeah, sound quality wise, it's pretty close. It really depends on, do you want more lively, more dynamic sounding headphone, more exciting, or do you want more polite, more refined, more balanced sounding headphone? So that's really it. Stay tuned for the sound comparison test. I'm gonna test both of these out, and maybe you guys let me know what you guys think. Alright, so in terms of pros and cons, I think the biggest pros with the PX8s, in my opinion, is the noise cancellation, the design, the balanced sound signature, if you're into that, and soundstage. The biggest con with these is they can be dull sounding. If you are expecting something very lively and dynamic, these don't sound like that. They're very polite and refined, and because it's relatively balanced, yeah, they can be dull sounding for some people. So, on the other hand, I would say for the pros and cons of the Focal Bathys, the pros are, this is a very dynamic sounding headphone with a lot of detail. So it sounds very energetic and lively. Also, like the design thing, personally I like the Bathys and Wilkins better, but some people might like the design, especially with the light up LCDs, pretty good. The cons of this headphone, I would say the soundstage could be a bit better. And yeah, I think the noise cancellation could be a bit better too. But then again, Focals, they don't traditionally have a lot of experience with this kind of technology. I would say it's a pretty good first effort in terms of noise cancellation. But yeah, that's going to be my pros and cons of these two. And I guess another advantage that the Focal Bathys has over the PX8s is that the Bathys definitely has a little bit more detail. So yeah, if you're looking for more detail retrieval, more revealing headphones, I think the Bathys is definitely the more revealing headphone out of the two. That's not to say that the PX8s are not detailed, but just out of these two, the Bathys are definitely the more detailed headphone. Okay, so after much deliberation, I think for me, at least, I'm going to choose the Bathys PX8, and the reason is mainly because of noise cancellation. Because if I'm going to be using a wireless headphone, it's mostly going to be when I'm traveling, so on a train, a bus, or a flight. And if that's the case, the noise cancellation is actually going to be more important to me than the extra detail and more dynamic sounding signature of the Focal Bathys. And this is what Focal is always good at. Like, all their headphones are fairly detailed. I mean, I remember trying out their Elexes, which are like super detailed for their price range. Probably the most technical headphone you can get for that price, actually. So Focal's always been good at that. But yeah, the Bathys wins mostly because of noise cancellation, but also because of the design. I mean, this design just looks sleeker to me. I'm not a big fan of having all these different holes and stuff. It just kind of, yeah. It kind of turns me off, you know what I mean? Makes me feel a little bit weird to have a headphone with all these holes in it. And yeah, it's not an open back either. So actually, I don't know why Focal went with this trypophobia triggering in design, because it doesn't need to be like this. It's not an open back or anything. So I don't know. I just don't like these holes and stuff. I do like the glow up logo. That's a cool touch, but not a big fan of the holes. And yeah, PX8s just have better noise cancellation and just more sleeker design. So that's what I ended up going with. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And yeah, let's stay for the sound comparison test and let me know.